So there's an old piece of logic that goes, the difference between a manager and a leader is a manager, they tell people what to do, while a leader shows people what to do. So that's what I want to talk about today. So it's just some thoughts on being a leader. So you break down the word leader and what you get. Shorter form of the word leader is to lead. Lead, I don't think I need to explain that word. You break it down even further. Break down the word leader even further. You have leader, lead, and what do you need to lead? You need someone to follow, a follower. So what does a follower do? Well, the follower does the same thing that someone else has already done. So that's someone being the leader. So there's also an old saying I want to bring up. So it goes, I believe half of what I see and none of what I hear. So the logic behind that, so I believe nothing that I hear, none of what I hear. So it's easy to say something as such as I'll work hard or I love you. I can say that 100 times, no problem. But actually doing it, however, doing it so that other people can see, I believe half what I can see, other people can see you doing something. That takes effort, takes blood, sweat, and tear to actually produce something so that so that it's visibly visible to the world. So in my own case, so I've tried to implement that into my own life. I remember back in September, I had to leave Thailand for personal reasons. I told my kids that I'd come back to teach them for the rest of the year, which I did. I came back in November for the second term. And I remember another time when it was a minor case. So I sang a birthday song to one of my students during the birthday and showed them American style how birthdays are celebrated for birthday boys. You get punched in the arm based on how old you are. And next time I saw him, he showed me this big bruise on his arm. And I felt a little bad about it, so I promised that I'd bring him some medicine. So this is called, in Chinese, 体打澡. So this is my father's medicine. So I brought some of it so that he could use it during the next class. I told him I'd bring it, and which I did. And the last and most important one is for my time here in Thailand. I promised my kids I'd teach them for the entire year. So, especially starting back in November 3 months ago, started getting really difficult because I no longer wanted to teach here. I thought it was getting really boring and not the best use of my time, which I talked about in my first journal video. But at the same time, even though I didn't want to stay here, I felt a part of me, I wanted to show these kids the importance of honoring commitments and keeping your word. So I stayed here. And with kids and youth especially, such as teenagers and young adults, when they're supposed to listen to someone, an authority figure, and they hear the authority figure saying one thing, but they see them doing something else. Eventually, once they start developing logic inside their brain, they start to catch on. They see that, well, this teacher is telling me to do this, but they're doing something else instead. So instead of listening to them, I'm just going to copy their bad behaviors. So, what else did I want to say? Right, so these kids, right, I tried to show them the importance of honoring commitments, and I also tried to show them the importance of hard work. So I worked really hard to try to learn how to be a teacher this year. And I think some of them, especially the older ones that are starting to develop a logical brain, they see the work that I put in, and eventually some of them reciprocated. They started becoming better students, which I'm really happy about. And So yeah, those are some thoughts on being a leader. So this is my M2 classroom, 8th grade. So all the kids, they've left. They're finished for the school year, and I remember I was here before they started school year, and I only get to leave once they have all left, which they have. So to speak, I'm the last boot on the ground. That's symbolic of being a leader. You show people what to do. And that's a lesson I'm going to take away from my experience here in Thailand teaching English. Instead of just telling people what to do, open your textbook, write this down, it's actually showing them what to do, showing them to keep your promises, showing them to work hard by working hard yourself. So that's the difference between a leader and a manager. The leader leads the way, for lack of a better term. They show the way, let's say that. They guide people. They're the first boot on the ground and the last boot on the ground. Right, that's all I have to say. Just a quick note to one of my mentors, Anthony, who told me to stick it out back in January, to not quit and finish the school year. I have, Anthony, if you're watching this, I have finished the school year. All the kids have left, and I'm the last one here. So yeah, that is the end of the video.